Hi, Phil from Salt Consulting. I've recently been asked to do some work up in the northwestern part of Australia with a group conducting a long-term survey to help them understand their needs and aspirations and their priorities and some of their history, so that going forward they'll really be in a very strong position to help take charge of their own affairs, which is really great because it got me thinking how often when this sort of work is done, it's often done in a fairly extractionist way. And knowledge is powerful, but knowledge is only really powerful when it's your knowledge and when you have control over it and when you understand it and when you have the ability to use it. And typically when surveys and studies are done, and maybe the Australian Census is a classic example, it's done to a people and then that knowledge is taken away and processed and analysed, and it's presented back in a fairly piecemeal fashion, and it's used to define all kinds of budgets and proposals and programs and priorities going forward, but without the real engagement of the people concerned. And it made me remember a case in Afghanistan where we were working with the community over a number of years, and as part of helping them really have full traction of their own affairs, we did what's called a school survey, which is where over the course of a single day, all school-aged children are tested on a range of health metrics. And you take their blood and you do height and weight and look at general health and that kind of stuff and some histories. And then with the community, you process that information and present it back so the community gets a profile of who it is on that one given day. And what that helps them see is that the problems that they thought were perhaps individual problems or individual difficulties are in fact shared by the whole community. So it becomes this great impetus for action and movement going forward. And they're able to present that information in a much more powerful way to local stakeholders and government officials and other groups in order to really leverage change for themselves going forward. So that's the approach we'll be taking with this group in the Norwest. And really great to see them taking the lead in that, and we're just there to help sort of streamline and facilitate the process. More on that later. Thanks.